over half of the squad were on their period. It was like a superpower. The really big focus for us at the minute is female athletes, female health. Like when we were coming through the system and we were just treated like mini men. Oh, this is what we do with the men, so this is what we're going to do with the women.
So if I'm a parent or a coach at pathway level and I'm dealing with teenage girls, is there some sort of conventional wisdom, top 3 you have to know?
Understanding that throughout the month, your performance is going to fluctuate, fact. So there's some times where you could go in and you could lift 80 kg, 2 days later or a week later, you might only be able to lift 60 and you feel knackered doing it. And you're like, what is going on with that?
And I think the other thing on that, I think people just look at it as when you're on your period. Like, oh my God, that's the bit that we need to be. And actually, like Elinor said there, it's so much earlier in the month in terms of your hormone fluctuation.
For most people, it's the week 9 days before you actually bleed is where you get the probably the worst symptoms. And there's a couple of days where you're really clumsy. So you might suddenly have a session where you drop loads of balls and whatever. And you're just like, what is going on? And just a fun fact linked to this. We beat France for the only time in my career in 2016 in the Six Nations. Over half of the squad were on their period. It was like a superpower, like genuine. In the change rooms after, someone was like, oh, Anna was on my period. And then someone else was like, yeah, and I was. And it ended up like there was a really high percentage of us on our periods that day. So it was like, since then, I've seen it as a bit of a superpower.